It's no secret that farming sim games are some of the most popular cozy games. But by now, with so many farming sims already out, and even more on their way out soon, it may be hard to pick what farming sim is best for you. Maybe you're getting tired of the same old same and you need a little guidance in choosing what's the best way to spend your time on the farm. Today, I am joined by the lovely Miss Bubbles, and we've got you covered recommending some of our personal favorite farming sim games. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Payton. It is nice to meet you, it is nice to see you, and welcome to the corner. Today, I am joined with the lovely Miss Bubbles, who is one of my favorite fellow cozy game content creators. But Miss Bubbles doesn't just cover cozy games, also covering RPGs and JRPGs, doing the whole darn thing.
Hello everyone, it's Miss Bubbles, and it's such an honor to be here with Payton, sharing the farming games that we absolutely love. If you love everything farming games, cozy games, and RPGs, make sure to stop by my channel because I have plenty of amazing content for you.
Before we get into it, please be sure to click the lovely little like button, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. And if you want to see me play cozy games live, you can check out my live streams right here on YouTube and over on Twitch. All right, I'll shut up and let's get into it. My first pick for one of my all-time favorite farming sim games is the game that I shout from the void about all of the time. If this game has no fans, I am dead. And I feel like this is always one I like to talk about because I think it's kind of underrated. I think it's interesting. I think it does what I like in a farming sim, which gives me farming, but then gives me some new twists. This game is called Sunhaven. Sunhaven is a fantasy farming sim game with RPG twists like you've never experienced. You'll get to immerse yourself in over 30,000 lines of dialogue as you romance any or all of 23 fantastical characters while embarking on side quests, interacting with hundreds of unique NPCs, solving riddles, discovering secrets all around you in this lore-rich, story-driven world. Sunhaven is a magical farming sim game that really steps up what you're expecting in a farming sim game. Not only will you be able to control your own farm on Sunhaven, but as you explore deeper and deeper into the story, there'll actually be other magical realms where you'll get to have your own farm, each with its own set of unique crops, decor, and more. I love Sunhaven because I think that it is such an intricate and complex farming sim game. I love the magical twist. I feel like we're seeing lots of farming sim games with magic in them. But in Sunhaven, I really think the magic just feels so full of life and there's so much to do all of the time. I tend to favor games with quick-paced days because I like to kind of like be regimented and okay, I need to get things done. But in Sunhaven, I definitely take advantage of the fact that you can change the day to be 40 minutes in real life time because there is just so very much to do. It's no secret if you've been around the corner that I love romance in cozy games, and I particularly love all of the character options in this one. Something that I think is so interesting about Sunhaven is there are so many characters to get to know and they all feel deep and full of lore. You of course do not have to romance them, you can just get to know them. There are so many quests at all times, and I just feel like the aesthetic and the vibe of this game just really make it something special. I think Sunhaven is a really great option if you've played farming sim games before, but you think they're starting to feel like more of the same. I definitely think it's more of a complicated game. You have to craft a bunch in the game, you definitely have to grind, but I really do think it's worth it. It has such an interesting storyline, interesting festivals, and they're continuously updating the game to make it even more special than I think it already is.
Now, my first pick is a very near and dear to my heart because it's developed by a team that did a game before that I also love. I just want to talk about this game all the time. I want to recommend it all the time. I'm talking about my time at SANDROCK. This one started in early access and now it's fully released, and it's been receiving constant updates to make the experience better, and I have such high respect for Bethesda Games for consistently listening to players' feedback and improving their game. They also gave us a new DLC that was added recently that lets you catch pets so you can treat them like pals in Pal World, and we have a multiplayer mode now. This game is wonderful, from amazing voice acting, intriguing story with so much mystery, beautiful world to explore, fun characters to meet, and plenty of content to unlock and enjoy. It's an RPG hybrid where you can farm, fish, mine, craft insane blueprints, find your perfect match to romance and marry, you can get a mount and fight enemies, and basically it all starts as you playing as fledgling builder and you're trying to raise your rank in the community as you take on commissions for villagers, but you also progress the story. It can get a little bit overwhelming at times as you're building things because blueprints can become very complex very quickly, so you're gonna feel like you constantly need more resources to build more complex machines, and you know, you need to obtain X, Y, and Z to build A, B, and C, but it's so worth playing if you take things at your own pace, and that's gonna be like my first tip about this game. Just play at your own pace, relax, don't rush, use the wiki if you need to. It is worth the time investment. And the second tip would be just don't play it on the Nintendo Switch. I know Pathea Games, they've reached out to me a few times and they've told me that they have updated the Switch version, but for me, the game still gives me a lot of motion sickness and migraines. I'm someone who suffers from severe migraines, so things like stutters and lags, like just the slightest bit, it's gonna be very difficult for me and my eyes. So I've tried the updates and I still can't play the game on the Nintendo Switch. So if you have the same problem as I do, probably the best thing to do is just steer clear from that and play on your Steam Deck. And if you don't suffer from motion sickness, I just feel like the graphical sacrifice is just too much. Like, the game doesn't look good on the Switch at all. But in all cases, if you haven't played My Time at SANDROCK, definitely do, and if you did, please let me know who did you romance.
Now, my next pick is if you liked everything I said about Sunhaven, but you feel a little overwhelmed. You're like, okay, Payton, I'm with you on the magic farming, I'm with you on the hot NPCs, but that sounds like it's kind of a lot. And it is. This next option is going to be a bit of a simpler option, but it is one that I think is still worthy of being called one of the best farming sim games, and this one is only in early access, so for me to say that now means that I think it's pretty good. This game is called Fields of Mystria. Fields of Mystria aims to be a spiritual successor to the farming sim RPGs of the late 90s and onward, where you'll get to build the farm of your dreams as you discover magic, romance, and adventure. Mystria is an idyllic village tucked between forest and sea, and it has offered you an overgrown but full of potential homestead in exchange for your assistance. You'll need to restore the town to its former glory after an earthquake wreaks havoc and strange magic begins to flow through the land. Like I said, Mystria is just in early access right now. I've played a lot of it. In case you missed it, I made a video where I played 100 days in the game. Go check that out. And I think they do a really good job of handling early access. I think that this game has so much potential and so much promise, but I do think it is still enjoyable to play now in early access if you don't want to wait for its full release, which is probably going to be sometime next year. I like Fields of Mystria because it has all of the things I like about Sunhaven, but it puts them on a simpler scale and makes it, I think, more attainable to the average farm sim player. I think you could have never played a farming sim game before and enjoy Fields of Mystria, whereas I also think you could have played every single farming sim ever and also still enjoy Fields of Mystria. The characters in this game are particularly my favorite part. While there are not as many of them as there are in Sunhaven currently, maybe there'll be more later on, they are all so rich of story. I really enjoy how the characters not only interact with your character, but how they interact with each other. There are so many beautiful slice of life moments in the game where you'll actually get to walk in on other characters, having conversations, playing games, and so on. This game also has a really unique ranching style where you can actually breed your animals and get really fun colors. So if you're someone that's interested in a strawberry cow, perhaps, this might be the one for you. Mystria is also full of opportunity to decorate your farm. It includes this beautiful pastel color palette. People compare this game to Sailor Moon, calling it like the Sailor Moon farming sim game. It's very that vibe, and I think it is very approachable. It definitely is not finished. There is an end to the story right now, but if you're interested in getting in on what I think is going to be potentially one of the greatest farming sims ever, you can get in on it early if you want.
My second one is one that still amazes me with its development because it's made by one person, and I feel like this person is putting AAA studios to shame because some of these AAA studios cannot get their act together and even have one game run, but this person has made an amazing early access game and keeps giving us so many updates, and the game is freaking amazing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's DINKUM. This is the perfect crossover of Animal Crossing, Dragon Quest Builders 2. Freaking love that game, please. I want, like, if you love Dragon Quest Builders 3, let's manifest that, please, please, please. Anyways, back to DINKUM. It is that and Minecraft. It takes you to the Australian outback and throws you into a land full of resources. A land that's ready for you to decorate. It's also a land that's dangerous and it's gonna kick your butt if you're not careful. I mean, these ostriches, they can be very mean. Don't let me get started on the crocodiles. I'm telling you, the crocodiles. It's a video for another day. It is so fun to play as new visitors come to your village and they're gonna decide to move in. They're gonna bring their own set of expertise for you to use. You also have milestones, which are similar to those in Animal Crossing, so these can guide you in your gameplay. You can also play with your friends and decorate to your heart's content. It still astonishes me that after 2 years, the developer is still adding more and more content. It's all seasonal, and I think we still have one more update before it's in full release. But to me, the game really feels like it's in full release already.
And my final pick for an amazing farming sim game is actually the farming sim game that was the first one I really got into super heavily. I know I was late to the party on the farming sim games, but it's just what it is. This farming sim game, I think, has a little bit of everything, and unlike the past 2 games I mentioned, it definitely feels rooted in traditional farming sim, but there's enough of a twist to keep me interested, and I think that they do so many things right in this game. This game is called Coral Island. Coral Island is a vibrant and laid-back reimagining of classic farming sim games, where you'll get to be who you want to be and experience an enchanting island living at your own pace. You'll live off the land, nurture animals, build relationships with a diverse cast of townsfolk, and make the world around you a more vital and harmonious place. Like most farming sims, Coral Island will have you start the exact same way you start most farming sims, with you taking over a farm. But this one is broken down because of a massive oil spill that happened on the island not too long before you got there. It's your job to not only do the farm stuff, get to know all of the very hot NPCs, and romance them if you'd like, but it's your job to actually clean up the ocean and help bring life back into the island. And while you're cleaning up the ocean, you may just find there is a magical merfolk kingdom down below that also needs saving. I think Coral Island does so many things right. My favorite part about the game, similar to how I feel about the past 2 games I mentioned today, I'm a character girl. I really want to get to know the NPCs and feel like my interactions with them are important. In Coral Island, there's not just amazing romance candidates, but every single character has their own unique backstory and is worth getting to know. Their slice of life cutscenes are really enjoyable to interact with, and not only that, Coral Island will offer you really fun options for decorating. There is a whole big mine system to go explore. The amount of crops that you can grow in this game is very large and vast. There are so many different seasonal festivals, and it's another one that I think is a great option if you already know and like farm sims, or if you're looking to start a brand new one, as I think it has a nice level of things that feel beginner, but also things that feel advanced. It's worth noting that Coral Island has been around for a little bit, but the game just came out with its 1.1 update, which included the finale to the story. So if you've been hesitant about Coral Island for a while because you've heard that it's unfinished, now is the time. It's kind of finished, the story is finished, but it's not yet out on all platforms, and there will also be multiplayer updates in the future. But this is the most finished the game has ever felt. As someone who has played since day 1 of early access, I do think Coral Island is worth getting into, and it has been the one, it's the farming sim game that I have the most hours in for sure. So there's gotta be something in it that keeps me going to it. And there you guys have it. Those were some of our favorite farming sim games of all time. If you want to see more, be sure to go check out the video we made on Miss Bubbles' channel, where we shared even more farming sim games that we think are the best ever.
This collab was so fun to make. I'm so happy that Payton and I joined forces today and brought you this video. Really hope to see you on my channel, and until next time, stay bubbly.
Be sure to go check out Bubbles' channel if you haven't already for amazing cozy game content, RPG content. I'm a big fan of Miss Bubbles. Miss Bubbles does so many great reviews, lists, news, all that good stuff. So if you're not subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Go fix that. Please be sure to leave a comment down below letting us know what did we miss. What are some of your favorite farming sim games of all time? Do you like the games we mentioned? Do you hate the games we mentioned? I want to know. Leave me a comment down below. Please be sure to click the lovely little like button on the way out, as well as subscribe for more cozy, chaotic content. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!